And who's the favourite? Has it changed? Who's the smoky and who's the concern? So we'll go to you, Gary. Have you changed your mind?
I've jumped off the Eagles. I had the Eagles, but I think they've been hubbed.
I've hubbed
them.
Here we go.
I've hubbed them, and I've jumped on the Maggies. I think I know. I've been.
You were taken aback by round one, I reckon.
I know, very heavily.
Probably worried about the injury list though for the Pies. They've got a lot of injuries.
No. I'm not, Brownie. I'm supremely confident in the ability to get it together. So you can almost pencil the West Coast Eagles in for the win. I've changed now that I've jumped off them.
Not bad.
I'm sticking firm. I've been with this mob for a while. That's the Tigers. I think they've got a bankable style. We know they know their system, and they're not going to be affected by their inability to train because they've played a certain way for a number of years now, and
they've got a hub at the MCG.
They're not going to miss a beat. Exactly right.
Yeah, the team they beat in the grand final, GWS for me. So Callum Ward there, and Williams is going to be in there, and I think Toby Green's just going to get stronger and stronger. They play 3 out of the first 4 at home.
I'm going to stay with the West Coast Eagles, simply because I think whilst they're giving to the hub now, they're going to take it later in the back of the season.
People are going to think we've collaborated on those, and we've got 4 different ones.
No, there's been no collaboration.
It's been done independently.
They're big winners out of the reduced times 4 quarters because Nat Nui goes from 60% up to 73%, which means do they play another ruckman? I think Tim Kelly coming back, Oscar Rowland, they've got some organic growth to come through there. They've got great midfield. So I'm going to stick with them and see whether or not they can win that most
if anyone comes out
unbelievable
that top
premiership.
4 would be the story of the year.
Who's the 5th?
Well, Jonathan, you're not pumping up for your mob or not?
Brisbane's got a good start of the year. So their first 4 at home. They're training really well and no injuries. So I think that puts them in pretty good shape. Yeah, they do need to.
Who's the smoky goes?
I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on Carlton. Now's their time. I had a good look at their list today.
Mitch McGovern's after fire.
Wiedering and Jones in the back half can hold them together with Marchback and Plowman.
Hang on.
I think the midfielder Cripps and Walsh, Murphy playing in there, Doherty back. Mackay, the raps on him are massive. It's about time.
Hang on.
Haven't got time for hang-ons, Brown.
No, this means he's got Carlton beating his boys Melbourne this weekend.
Haven't done that tip yet, Jonathan?
Well, hang on. You've got Carlton going up as the smoky.
Brownie.
You are jumping off, mate. You are not
He's
bad.
deflecting. He's deflecting.
We're all running out of time.
He's a company man. I'm going with Port Adelaide. I think their best last year was as good as anyone's. They were dangerous on their day, but you just couldn't trust them, which can happen with a young team. I think they'll grow. They'll take another step
no injuries,
forward.
Port Adelaide as well are in good shape. I didn't mind Fremantle. They lost Essendon round 1, but they've got Mundy, Wilson, Hill, Akers and Hogan back in that lineup.
You said they were better than West Coast last year.
They're playing the Lions this week. He's deflecting. You two are as bad as each other. I'm onto your tricks.
I spoke to Fags during the week.
Hawthorn's won 7 of their last 9 with a percentage of 135. They are the Smokies. They've got Johnny Patton. Scully's got another year. And they've got a bloke who can play a little bit, Tom Mitchell, coming back.
Big on the stats tonight, Jerry.
Who's the concern?
Hoyney's been talking to someone. Who have I got? The Crows. I got concerns about the Crows. We might have a bit of a more in-depth discussion. We've got time on Adelaide, but haven't liked the events of Adelaide in the last few years.
Andrew McLeod coming out saying what he said, and Mark Rashido not happy. That was big.
Mike, I've got concerns about Brisbane, but for different reasons, because of the lofty expectations, top 4 last year, but they've lost their last 4, the Lions, albeit against really good opposition, Richmond twice, GWS and West Coast the other one, but it's the way teams have been able to score against them from the back half to inside 50. They've got to fix that.
I've gone out on a limb, Jared. A bit worried about the Gold Coast Suns. Well, they're a young side. Rui talks about leadership, so it's just going to be hard.
Tony Cochran will be ringing you.
Yeah, so don't ring me, Tony.
Come on.
My concern is the loser for St Kilda versus the Western Bulldogs. I think both of them can have really good seasons, but you don't want to start 0-2. And for St Kilda, it could be 0-4. They've got Collingwood and Richmond for memory. They're next in rounds 3 and 4.
I'll be at that one.
And the Western Bulldogs, well, they got the Giants, so they wouldn't want to drop another one.